guys, it's Tyler. I know you haven't seen me in a little bit. I had to stop filming because I ran into a little bitty problem. For some of you guys, you may know that St. Louis got hit with a flood, like a flash flood, back in July of 2022, and the house was affected. And me and FEMA were going back and forth, but they decided they did not want to help me fix the damage I've done. FEMA considered the house a second property, so they did not fix anything. And so I kind of had to put a pause on everything until I could figure out how to fix the issues that's going on. And then by the time I kind of came up with a solution, it was too cold to work over there anymore. So today I'm sitting down to film like the first video of the year, but I also need to go ahead and kind of show you what the flooding did over there. So that's what we're gonna do. I actually have to run over to the house today because I had some work done to the front of the house. So you may notice once we go over there, the front porch is gone, and it's just because it was collapsing and it was becoming a hazard and I had to get it fixed. So we took it down, and then in about a month or two from now, we'll be able to go ahead and put up a whole new one that's closer to what I really want up there. This is footage I took from my manager. I live really close to my job and we were worried about the flooding. So this was taken on Wednesday morning around 6:30 on July the 27th. At the time, all we knew was that U City recently had experienced some severe flooding. We were just kind of worried that our building would experience some. We had no idea what was coming next. Thursday, we experienced flash flooding in our area and it was very traumatic. We had about 8 feet worth of water in our area, and you can see how it nearly covered the stop sign. So the photo you're seeing right now was taken from my apartment building on the 3rd floor. And my building that I work in is also really close to there. And the water got so high in the building, we had to be evacuated using the fire department. Alright, so this is Tuesday after the flooding hit. And me and my mother were over here trying to clear up the space. Right now, you're looking at the entryway to the basement. It got flooded, and so this is what's going on. Lots of dirt. I've been shoveling for a little bit now. I have a pile up here, but I also had about a 40-gallon bag worth of dirt we already hauled out. You can see over here how high the dirt was. So it's probably about a foot. So we may have got up to about a foot worth of sitting water at one point. When I first checked on the house on Friday, that was after the flood on Thursday, I saw that it had flooded and thought that maybe it had stopped right here. But after being over here and taking photos, I realized the water had actually made it all the way up to here. So this house sits on an incline, 2 different ways. There's a hill that we go down as you're driving down the street, and then there's a hill that we're on the lower end of that goes across the street. I'm going to insert some pictures of what the basement looked like, but basically it caused a lot of cracking in my concrete. And then it also caused this post to move to the point that, like, upstairs, a lot of my doors aren't closed. You can definitely tell we're off kilter now. We were always a little slanted, but now we're very slanted. And I'm worried about this one because now there's a crack along here as well, but it doesn't look like it's moved. So we shall see. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. I've been working. Alright, so this is day 2 of clearing out the space, and as you can tell, I found my drain. I got my drain cleared. You could see just how far down I actually had to dig. I've been digging for 2 hours. It doesn't look like much up here, but you can definitely tell just how far I've been digging based off where the water line was. I would show my face, but I am a hot, sweaty mess. It's very humid because we keep getting storms in St. Louis, so everything is just humid and wet. Also, a dog kicked poop at me today, so yeah, very interesting day. But yeah, I also found the level spot for my doorway, so I am super excited. We're gonna get a door. In fact, the door I bought probably can fit now. I just have to get this evened out because I'm missing a 5-inch chunk right there. But We got the doorway clear, so now I have spot for my door. And I know where the door actually went, yay. I got my drain clear. I have to buy a new grate for this. It looks like it's dirt, but it's not, it's just the concrete. And what's going on is I have a lot of huge trees around me. So between the actual house settling, because we had a lot of water coming through, so the house sunk a little bit. Plus you have the trees around us, and these are some huge trees. They've been here probably for like 200 years or so. I have roots coming through here as well. I had roots coming through here too, which is lets me know I need to do all my plumbing again. I kind of figured, but this is a really big confirmation for that. Still have to clear out this stuff, and then you can't really see, but I also still have to not wipe down, I have to spray down and scrub all of that, because that's where we need to be doing the work at. But the drain is cleared. About to go home for the day. Hey guys, it's Tyler. We are here at the house. It's day 3 of cleanup, and today we're going to focus on clearing out the last of debris, like the bigger debris, so that I can get my joists repaired when we lift up the house. Anyway, we finna sweat. Finna put on my cap. I wore a bun today. We not finna try to be pretty today. Alright, so we have, well, I've been down here for about 2 hours digging. We got all this clean. I have something to say about that, but I'm gonna wait. Me and the spiders have made friends. We have not attacked each other, even though like they're quite scary. I realize I am in their home at this point. What I want to point out is that every time you do something in this house, there's always something else. It never fails. Every time I move something, you find something new. That's just a problem. So this concrete is cracked all the way over and it's heaved up. Sorry, the concrete is cracked all the way over and it's heaved up. And I do know what caused this. This was not caused by the flooding, even though it'd be so convenient just to say that. But this was caused because this is the wall that got all the water from when we didn't have a good roof or gutters. We still don't have gutters, but we're working on that. But at least the roof is good, so the water's not leaking directly inside the house anymore. When my uncle comes by a little bit later on today, I'm gonna get him to cut this down where I'll be wearing the proper PPE, because no one trying to die early. The only problem I think we're gonna run into when we are replacing these joists today is that I can see a layer of my brick is missing, because I can see sunlight. So I know from walking on the outside of the property, you can't see like a hole or anything, but there is enough of a crack that I can see sunlight coming through, and you know, it's just not cool. Also, this is my collection of brick I found. This is the brick that most likely fell from right here. So the way that this house was constructed, all the bricks in the house carry the load of the entire house. You have this interior, I'm gonna call it a joist, but that's probably not the word, but you have an interior joist that carries the load of the floors. Then you have structural posts that carry the load of that joist, if I'm not mistaken. I'm learning this stuff, so if I'm using slightly wrong terminology, my bad, but I do know that at least that's the function of all that, because these are also like the joists to carry the floor across, but then this carries the center weight of the house right there, and then all of the exterior walls are all bricked, and so they carry the load from the roof down. I'm going to have to get someone in here to reconcrete my entire basement. So if you can see, this is not very thick concrete. Whoever put it in, I don't know. But also I do understand that this is not the original floor for the house. The original basement floor was dirt. So I know this is not the original one, but I don't know when this concrete was put in, so I have no clue how old this concrete is. And I do know now that if you're laying concrete down for a basement, you would do rebar and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna have a company come in and do. It's just like every time I look, I lose money. Every time I look in this house, I lose money. But yeah, collection of brick. Got this cleaned in 2 hours. I'm gonna leave that there because as of right now, it's not affecting what we're doing with the joists above it. I'll probably clean it up sometime today, but just not right now. And then the next thing we gotta do is, you can't really see, but we're going to clean up the last of the mud that's over here, like the thicker mud that I need a shovel to remove. And then I'm gonna try to spray down the areas that we're gonna be working in and get those nice and cleaned. because we have to for sure fix this one. And I would really like to add a new supporting joist for this one, but I don't think I'm going to have the money to do it today. But since I'm going to be buying the actual jack that's going to lift up the house, we'll be able to do it next time I get paid, or whenever the next, I guess, big payout I get from the candle company. See, support your girl. You literally help fund the house. Yes, I do know that that is not good. It's going to come down, and I've been told that there's asbestos wrapping on it, so we're being careful about that. I've had several HVAC companies quote me on things. That's why we want to be extra careful when we're doing stuff up here with this, because this should not have asbestos in it, but you never know. Just want to be careful. Whenever you have anything that's older, you just want to be careful. Also, it's not going to be fun removing that. Not going to be fun at all. So I almost forgot. Look at my dirt pile. It's almost taller than me. I have a bag for materials that may be a little bit more dangerous, so just wanted to be careful with that. Also, this is my collection of hangers, and every time I found the hanger, I got sadder and sadder because it made me realize that I thought that there were just 3 broken joists. There are probably more because I found 4 hangers. So, fun. We also, well, my mom, she moved the wood that was against the house that I've been finding inside of the basement. Since it's really soaked, we don't want to attract any termites to the house, but thankfully it has not been a problem, especially with how wet the house has gotten over the years. But we don't want to tempt it, so we moved all of the very rotted, very soaked wood away from the house. Also, we're in a heat advisory, so I'm going to be wrapping up in about an hour. Whatever I get done, and then And now you're kind of caught up to everything that's going on with the house. I'm still going to continue to make content for the channel. In fact, I have a lot of ideas, but I have to kind of wait out winter first. I'm in Missouri, there's nothing turned on in the house, and as you can see, I now don't have a front porch. So you can't really get into the house to do anything, but in like the next 2 months, the weather will break, spring will hit in St. Louis, and we'll be able to do more projects over there. So I'm gonna use my tax money to get the front porch put up, like the one that I want up. And then after that, we'll start doing demolition inside the house. Now, before you freak out, I'm not talking about like just completely gutting the house to the point where, well, yeah, I kind of am. So in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I was going to go ahead and take down the plaster in the house purely because of safety concerns. I don't think there's anything hazardous inside the plaster, but the roof, the amount of like water damage that was in the house, I'm very certain that like as I open up walls and stuff like that, I'm gonna find a lot of little issues. One of the issues that made me go ahead and decide to go ahead and take the plaster down was the fact that in the master bedroom, right above the bed, the chimney stack that's right there is collapsed. And had the ceiling not fallen down in the area, I would not have noticed. And so had I left the plaster alone in that area, that could have fallen on me like laying down or something. So I think it's best to go ahead and try to take down the plaster in the areas and see what's going on with the brick up under, because that's what most of my walls in the house are anyway, brick. I only have 2 interior walls and they run throughout the house. And then you have like these, what I like to call half walls, because most of the time they're broken up by doors. So there's not a lot of actual walls in the house that would need to be open. The rest of the walls in the house would just need to have the plaster taken off. So we're gonna start doing that, and we're gonna work on the tuck pointing on the outside of the house. Unfortunately, I can't do it right now because it's cold, but also the materials for the tuck pointing is inside the house. So I can't do anything until I get a porch on there, but that's okay because St. Louis gets cold. In fact, I might put up a picture now of what my bedroom at the apartment looked like when we went through our little deep freeze where it was like negative 20-some degrees. Yeah, that's ice on my bedroom wall. That's crazy. Okay, pause. I realized this is editing Tyler, and I realized that I said gut, but I never explained afterwards like anything. So when I say gut, I really do mean gut the house, but cool down. I really do love Victorian houses, and I wouldn't really change a thing about them. So I'm going to try to save as much as possible in the house. So like all the custom trim work and stuff like that, that's going to be saved. Like if it's not rotted, it's going to be saved. But like the bathroom is going to be gutted. I know for sure, just because the current layout of it, like the way it's structured, it does not work very well. is really, really tiny and I can't expand that room anymore. So we're gonna keep that the same, but I have to change that layout of the bathroom, which means the closet that's there, for example, has to go. So we're gonna save that trim that's around that, and I'm gonna try to repurpose it somewhere, but I'm not sure. So what I am gonna do after we gut the house, we're gonna do the renovations, like the internal stuff that has to be fixed so it can be brought up to code, because the house is not up to code and I can't move into it without it being up to code. In fact, most of the things that are in there right now have been grandfathered in, and so they've been out of code for about 15, 20, 30 years sometimes. So like, I have to renovate the house. But after the renovation happens, then we'll do a restoration of the house so I can get it back to being a, what I would like to call modern Victorian. I'm going to salvage as much as possible, and then I'm actually going to bring in pieces that would have also been from the time period the house was built, which is the 1890s. So the house is going to be a mixture of 1890s going into the like 1920s. And then we're going to mix it in with like a lot of modern day stuff as well. So the house will still have its look and feel, but I have to gut it. So I have to gut it, then we'll renovate, and then we'll restore. Okay, carry on. Since I won't be able to publish anything about the house, as in like project stuff, I think I'm going to do a series of videos where I kind of show you the other things I do. So I'm working on a book, and I think I'm going to kind of post stuff about that, as well as my business. So the business is what's going to help me pay for a lot of this work. And so I think it's important to kind of showcase how I'm paying for the house, because the money I make from the business helps pay for materials and our work. Yeah, and if you didn't know, I own a small candle company. The name is Golden Child Candles, and I make handmade soy candles and wax melts. Hopefully we'll be coming to a store near you. So you'll be watching me as I'm going through the process of learning how to wholesale. Because I recently received a grant from the city of St. Louis for my business, and so I'm really excited about that. I hope that you stay tuned and you follow along as I'm doing other projects, but don't worry, it's literally only 2 months until winter is like technically over in St. Louis based off our weather patterns. So 2 months would be if I'm actually publishing weekly. It'd only be like 8 videos. So hang in there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.